Hello, hello, hello. Right, what we doing today, Mr. Kel SG?
We're talking about Justice League, which I
Dun,
love.
dun,
Oh my
dun.
God, this is finally happening. I never thought I would be having a conversation with someone about this film, honestly. Uh, but, here we are.
Here we are.
Here
Did
we
you
are,
watch?
Nico.
Of course, you've watched but did you watch the first one as well? Well, I say the first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, I did. I did watch it. And right before watching this one, I thought, should I watch it again or not? Because I didn't like it. So I was
Yeah,
like,
I
uh,
was not a fan. I think I watched it when it
um,
first came out, and I was like, okay, this could either go really well or it could go really bad, and it went really bad.
Um, after watching it the first time because I went to the cinema to watch it, I didn't know what to think because to me it was a lot happening, and at the time it didn't make any sense. And because I knew what happened behind the scenes, or I thought I knew, because new stuff came out after the film came out. So um, I was like, okay, what's happening? And then I rewatched it again, thinking, okay, just watch the film. Don't worry about what happened behind the scenes. And then I was like, okay, I don't like it, um, which was weird. And it's something that it has never happened to me before because I've seen, I mean, we'll talk about it a bit more about this later, but I thought this film was over. And even though there were like things happening, like, we want the Snyder Cut to be released and everything, I never thought it was going to become a reality. So to me, I forgot about that film, um, which is pretty intense. I've been a Zack Snyder fan for like all my life. And seeing that his vision was not there, it just, I don't know, it was a weird feeling. Um, But then, one day it was announced that the Zack Snyder Justice League was happening, and I was like, yay!
Yes.
It took me like 5 minutes just staring at nowhere, just thinking about, okay, it's happening now.
It's
It's happening. But yeah.
yeah.
Um,
When I watched the first one, I think I watched it. I think I watched it in cinemas, and I was like, "Oh, this is not that good." I don't know. There was something missing. Something was missing. I don't know what it was, but it was just so boring, so mundane. I think I fell asleep, and then I tried to rewatch it because it came on Netflix, and I was like, "Okay, let me give it another shot," because maybe I was just not in the right mood. And I watched it, and I was like, I was just because
um,
I watched Superman versus Batman, and I watched the Batman movies before that as well, and I was like, okay, this is kind of good. What happened here? What happened in the 2017 Justice League? What is this?
uh, yeah. To me, it's too family friendly, and a Zack Snyder film is not family friendly. I want to see blood. I want to see people dying. Like that's what Zack Snyder is about, and that's the world he was creating. So not seeing that in Justice League, where like all the superheroes just are there together, um, it was like not making it for me. And then again, it's a, it's less than 2 hours, right? Like, how can you explain
Yeah.
so many? I mean, you don't have to explain all the superheroes, like that we all know the backstories and everything, but at
Hmm.
least like give them enough time so you've got this circle of explaining, why are they in this film
Hmm.
and what's the purpose of them being there, basically. Which in Justice League, the Joss Whedon one, it was too messy. It was like, what's going on? Why is he here? Um,
Yeah. I've never been
and
a big fan of Joss Whedon. I mean, apart from his early work like Firefly
yeah, yeah, Firefly,
and
yeah,
Buffy, but later on, I don't know what he did. He just lost his touch. Like,
yeah.
yeah, and it was
I
definitely
don't
seen
know.
in Justice League. Like I said, I think
Um,
many fans and many people who have watched the Zack Snyder's cut agree that the 2017 one does not exist. it is more of a. It was more of a trial experiment run for what we saw in the cut, I think. Because I was looking back at the comments on the 2017 trailer video, where most of the comments were like, "Oh, the trailer already came out 4 years before the actual movie," because that's how much the fans, the people hate the first cut, because it's just so bad.
Yeah. Morgan is saying hello. Hello, Morgan.
Hello, Morgan.
I love you, man. I love you, man.
Anime
I
Sanashi
think.
too. But yeah.
I think to me, Nico, like it just because people were like at the beginning, it's like it's a 4 hour film. I just watched it, and I didn't even have to stop. Like I was so immersed into what he was like showing me.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna talk about the whole film because we'll be here for ages, like maybe 6, 7 hours. But
4 hours cuts.
one of the things, one of the things that I really liked about the Zack Snyder film is like Steppenwolf has a reason to behave the way he behaves, and you're not just a villain because you want to be a villain. Like you have a motive, and that was missing in the Joss Whedon version. And in this one, we see why he's doing what he's doing. And to me, just that, it's like, okay, this is way better. You know, like the villain, one of the main characters of the film has a reason to be there in this film, which, I mean, in the Joss Whedon version, he was just there to destroy the world and that's it. Like that's not the way, to present a villain. And I take that to me as, I'm not going to say the best thing of the film, but what I was looking for in the Joss Whedon version, I got it. One of the things that I got was that now Steppenwolf has a reason to be in this film.
Yeah.
What did you think, Nico? By the way.
You're gonna hate me, but I had to stop halfway.
It's fine.
So I didn't watch it all in one go. I had to do some chores. I was like, okay, I can do this. 4 hours. It's not that long. No, it was a little bit long. But no, I loved it from the start because I feel like what we didn't get in the first release was there was no story. There was nothing that drove me towards to actually watch it. Like, yeah, we know who Batman is, yeah, we know who Wonder Woman is and all those people, but like you said, we didn't know what the villain was doing. Like, why was he there? What was his purpose? And in this one, it was like, fair enough, it's 4 hours, but I feel like it was the 4 hours were needed to explain everything that was missing to make it make sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing I just didn't like, though. Just one thing I didn't like. I didn't like how Lewis was introduced. I was like, I don't feel like she was needed to be introduced, if that makes sense. I feel like it would have been more of a not shock factor, but more of a slight shock if she just came in when she saw Superman be all crazy and stuff. Because I kind of knew she was gonna come in and be like, "Oh my God, it's me! Don't touch me! Don't hurt me! Don't do this!" Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we didn't need to see her early in the movie being like, "I miss him. I can't move on." Like for me, that was not necessary, and that was definitely not needed. In that part, but that's just me picky.
No. I mean, I love this film, but just because I've been obsessed with it for so long, and I get it. Like, I'm reading reviews, and people are like, this is not the film I wanted to watch, and stuff like that. And I'm fine with it. What I wanted is to watch the film, and now I've done it. Like, whatever people think, like, I don't care at this point. And it's not the perfect film. I think. There are a few scenes there that you can get rid of, and the film still works. A couple of Steppenwolf's scenes, I think it was too much. When like he's asking to find out where the other mother box is, I think it's like there's a scene there, and it's like you can get rid of that and it still works. Like, um, but yeah, and the thing, like, the 4 hour cut, I get that people are not going to watch it in like just one go because it's insane to do that. And that's one of the reasons why it's split in episodes, which I think is good. Like, he's not saying like you need to sit down and watch it for like, 4 hours
Yeah.
straight. Like, you can go and just pause it. And, he understands like sometimes you just want to, watch it as if they were episodes, which they are. I want to do that now, maybe like just watch one episode or like 2 episodes every day and see how that feels. Because if you sit there for 4 hours, it's like a journey, it's like you're sitting there and just witnessing the whole thing. And then I was thinking, like, when I got to the end, I was like, whoa, I've been sitting here for 4 hours. Like, it's not, I mean, it didn't feel long, but it felt like a journey. Like, I've been here for a very long time, because of the way it's explained.
I agree. I think just another thing that came to my head. I didn't like the overuse of slow motion. There was so much slow motion. Like, like, I understand. Like, obviously, when the Flash is running, and he has this whole scene, I understand that. That makes sense for me, for that to be in slow motion. But at the start, with the Amazonians running in slow motion, getting out of the tomb and running up away from the enemies and all that, I was like, that was not needed. That just made me, I was like, why? She's meant to be a goddess. She's meant to be strong. She's meant to be fast, but you're putting her in slow motion. Like, I don't get it. Why? Why did you put her in slow motion? I know it's for excitement and and all that, and just being like on the edge of your seat. But I was just getting frustrated. I was like, why is this goddess in slow motion? Why?
I didn't see that. And then I think I saw an article today saying like 10% of the filming is in slow motion. I'm like,
So
what?
much slow motion. So much.
And I didn't see it, Nico. Honestly, I was I don't know, so into it. I didn't see it, and then people are putting it, and I'm thinking like, yeah, Flash has like a few scenes in slow motion.
But that makes sense because you need to show him being really fast in a different way. If that makes sense.
Maybe you're right. Like, it's too much. It's just I didn't see it.
Some
I'm
of-
going to
some of the
rewatch
fight-
it now.
Some of the fight scenes were in slow, especially with Wonder Woman. She was fighting in slow motion. I was like,
Yeah, that's true.
There's no need. She's a goddess.
I didn't-
She's
didn't
strong.
think of that.
Show her
I didn't
strength.
think of that. Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're right. Now that you're pointing it out.
Yeah, like,
Shit.
obviously I understand the aspect of it, and I understand, is to showcase something that's probably important in the scene happening, and you got to stay focused on it. But I was like, just get to it. I needed more action. I needed not slow motion.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see it. I don't know. Maybe I was so focused.
He was in slow motion as well. He was like, what?
I was enjoying it in slow motion. Like, it got to that point. That might be true, but that's the Zack Snyder style in a way. So I get why, like, if you're not a hardcore fan, you're not gonna like it because it's Zack Snyder's style. But that's
Snyder's? Yeah, I do get it,
I mean,
but it was
maybe,
a bit,
but it is
too
too much. Maybe it is. It is a bit too much. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Like, if I'm not mistaken, the beginning is completely different.
I think so. I want to say yes.
I mean, I was 20 minutes into the film and I was like, okay,
This is different.
I mean, some of these scenes are way shorter than in the Snyder version cut. Which I don't know. It took me by surprise, like how much material they got rid of. Which I understand because it was a completely different vision. And in the Aquaman scene at the beginning, when those girls are singing, I don't know, that was so beautiful. Do you remember that scene?
That was very nice. It kind of threw me off guard a little bit because I was like, wow, okay. But in a good way, because I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting this, but it was really well done.
That's the thing, like,
that scene.
I mean, to me, like, Aquaman is getting into the water and that's it, and you think, okay, now we're gonna move on to the next scene. But then they start singing, and I was like, whoa! It took me by surprise completely, and I thought that was so beautiful. Uh, and it
Hmm.
just takes you to the town, and what they want, and which it was in the Joss Whedon version, that was completely gone. And I'm like, how can you have something that beautiful in front of you and not put it into the film?
Hmm.
Uh,
I
yeah,
mean, but
I
there's
don't
been
know.
so many scenes where added stuff has been put into compared to the first one. Like I'm trying to remember, like One Division's bank scene as well was shot and edited completely different to 2017. Like it, because when I
Yeah,
first watched it, I was like, okay, she's fighting in a bank. Why is she fighting in a bank? But then you had the introduction of the people in the suits, them coming in, and like you had like a whole setup, and it made sense. And
yeah,
it wasn't just her fighting for the sake of fighting. She had a reason to fight, and it was nice. And there was a little interaction with the people in the bank as well, which we didn't see, which was for me nice because I feel like superheroes are still kind of human in a way in terms of their emotions and feelings. So it was nice to see that breakdown a little bit between superhero and like human emotions almost for me
because I
anyway.
don't remember, was that scene with the little girl in the 2017 version when she's like, I want to be like you, and
I
she's like,
think
oh,
so.
you're already a hero. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
it
that, I
was it
mean,
was
I'm
done.
sure like they kept it because that was
Yeah.
so powerful. I remember watching it, it's like, oh my God,
Mm, yeah.
this is so
I think it was
powerful.
just kind of just portrayed slightly better. I think. I
Yeah.
don't know. Even
I mean,
the
to me,
effects as
the whole
well.
scene, yeah, I mean, the
Just.
whole scene just was because of that little girl.
Hmm.
It's just showing her, you can all be heroes. You just, need to
We
have a
can be
reason to fight for something.
heroes just for
I
one
mean,
day.
I mean, to me, that's the aim of this scene. Like it's all, happening because of that little girl. Because now, she knows that Wonder Woman has told her, you can be a hero if you want, and she's
You
like,
can do
wow,
anything you want to.
that's
Yeah,
it.
it was nicely done. I feel like it was like I said, it was done better than the first movie,
Yeah,
100%. Um,
yeah,
which was nice, which is
um,
good to see.
yeah. And another scene, that I recently learned it was completed when Joss Whedon walked into the project was the Flash scene where like he's stopping the bullets and just going around.
Hmm.
You might like it, you might not like it, but that's a very cool scene, and it
Oh no,
was
yeah,
finished.
yeah.
It was finished with the visual effects and everything. So I didn't know why they didn't put that scene in there. Because it's so intense. I remember watching it, it's like, whoa,
Hmm. Hmm.
this is something.
Mm.
This is next level. Um, I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just amazing. It was just amazing.
If you have
Um,
time, watch it, guys. I highly recommend it. It's actually pretty good. But
yeah,
I really loved how I say the side characters, but not the main characters that everyone knows, like Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. So we had the Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. I loved how those three, even though they're not seen a lot, they still had a lot in the movie as well. Like I loved how they added more to Cyborg's story as well, which is
yeah,
so for me it was very interesting to see because in the first one I was like, okay, he's just there, he's just like a background character. Like I know he's part of the Justice League, but what does he really do? So this actually brought more of his character alive, and I understood, what he went through and like why he is the person he is today. Well, I say person, but the person he is today.
yeah.
And I think they added a whole extra like extra scene as well with him as well, which is just nice. It's very nice.
With Cyborg, it's one of the main problems of the Joss Whedon version to me because you learn about him through the relationship he's got with his parents. Um, and I think his mother in the Joss Whedon film didn't even appear. Like I think it was
Hmm.
maybe in a flashback or something, which is to me it's so important. Like she cares about him, but his father doesn't seem to care. But at the end, that's that relationship is sort of like it goes around, and then at the end, the father sacrifices himself so the Justice League can go and fight the last mother box. Um, to me, that's sorry for that. That's that was one of the most beautiful things that they added, like the relationship that Cyborg had with his parents. So that way we know who is Cyborg and why he behaves the way he behaves. Uh,
Yeah.
and to me, something that really changed from the version we had to the Zack Snyder version, it's way more emotional.
Yeah.
When you finish the film, when you know, it's so. I was sort of like destroyed, like inside. I was like, oh my God. Um, I felt like crying. Like I didn't cry, but I felt like crying. Because it was a film about loss, and but then again, like it's something what and the humans and society. I don't know. It was so emotional again, and these stories told by these different characters who they all have their flaws and.
Hmm.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like the difference to me is way more emotional, the Zack Snyder version to the Joss Whedon version. Um,
For sure.
and it's so
Agreed.
scary. I mean, it's so scary because now, I don't know. I just want to say that now I know that sometimes studios are so powerful that they can just get rid of the vision the director had and then just go for something completely different, which is not good.
Yeah, I mean, I know the first Justice League actually had quite a few because I think wasn't Zack meant to do the first one and then they were like cut him out and then Joss Whedon stepped in. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and you could tell because
yeah.
there's certain scenes that just doesn't make any sense. Um, it really doesn't make any sense. Like Cyborg doesn't make because like all of a sudden Cyborg can in the first one can just hold the box without any meaning. He's like, "Yep, I've got the mother box. Do what you have to do, and that's it." But in the cut, it was explained that through the memories, through his emotions, and all that. So it was nice. It was very nice. I liked it.
Hmm.
I just like the cut. It was what we needed from the start, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That being said, though, Nico, I think it's difficult for a 4-hour film to go to theaters. So maybe even if we got Zack Snyder's version, it wouldn't be like 4 hours, which might
hmm,
be a bit mistake. Like you don't go to cinemas and say, "Hey, I'm going to show you a 4-hour film." I mean, people are not going to go and watch it, but because it's in HBO Max and in HBO
yeah,
here in Spain and the UK, it's easier to watch. So I think, I don't know, in a way, I might be crazy, but we needed Joss Whedon's version to get Zack Snyder's full version of the
yeah.
thing. I might be crazy, but
No,
I
I get
think
what you mean. I get what you mean. I feel like even
there's
if
no,
this was, even if this 4 hour cut was a cinema release, I think people would still watch it because I think the audience, from what I understand now, the audience nowadays are used to it because we recently had Avengers that's like 3.5 hours long. Avatar I think is like approaching 3 hours long. So like I think audiences' expectations for movies are like okay, it's 4 hours, but it's gonna be good. If it's 4 hours, it's good. Like I
yeah,
feel like the longer it is, they're like okay, the better it's supposedly meant to be.
mm,
um
yeah, but
I'd
it
watch it in the
was,
cinema, but I feel like it might have been
yeah,
split. I think it might have been cut quite a lot to maybe 2.5 hours, but it still would. I feel like it still would make sense than the first release.
yeah.
Like I don't know.
It's difficult because with Marvel, Endgame was 3 hours, but let's be honest, it was the end of an era for Marvel.
Hmm.
After like 10 or 12 years, I don't know. Uh, they were ending everything with that film, which it's amazing. With Justice League, it was a bit more difficult because Men of Steel worked, but then Batman v Superman didn't work as well as they expected them. So when you're like, okay, we're gonna have the Justice League, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna risk it and say, let's go for hours.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna get people paying for that. I mean, I am gonna pay like 2 eyes if I have to, 3 times. Zack Snyder, I'm gonna be here for you as many times as you want me to be.
All day, every day.
uh, but I understand that for people it's difficult to go and watch a 4-hour film, like
Yeah.
even being in HBO, even though if it's split in episodes, I know it's difficult to watch. So maybe I'm not gonna say, maybe I'm not gonna say it's good, but we needed something in between to get the 4-hour cut of Zack Snyder, which pretty soon is coming in black and white, and I'm gonna watch that.
He's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one. We talked about how much we loved it. We never really said like the main differences between the two. I think obviously the main difference that I saw was obviously the extra scenes. Obviously that's just that's just elaborate there. But I think the color grading. For this one was, I think, it's done better because it shows, like, if there's a dark scene, it shows the darkness. It shows, the colors and stuff like that. And Superman suit, oh my god. I was so excited for that.
That's true.
It's like he's all black and like, oh my god, I'm getting to it. It's too excited. I'm sorry. But like, the coloring was the main thing. I think it was done so much more better. Like, fair enough, in the first Justice League it was all bright and it was kind of elaborating everything at first, like like Superman's suit and all of that, like Batman. You had to see it, but I feel like now, because everyone knows who they are, it was nice to see it be toned down a little bit to fit the theme or emotion set in the scenes.
I mean, nice. Towards the ending it changes completely, and I think it's needed because it's dark.
Yeah.
You're fighting a Steppenwolf. Like, what do you want it to be? And the tone, it's the right one. It brightens up towards the end when they finally defeat Steppenwolf. Spoiler alert. But it is true. In the Joss Whedon version, it was too bright towards the end. It's like I want to see what's happening, but I don't need you to show me everything. Like, just keep it dark. In this version, you've got these scenes with Batman fighting and Aquaman fighting, and it's all dark and you can barely see.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way they are feeling at that time. They're fighting, a villain, and they don't know where they are. Like, this is the first time walking on this surface, so you don't know what's going to happen, so you need to put the audience there, and in order to do that you need to play with the instruments you have, and the color grading to me was done amazing. And the Superman suit.
Mm-hmm. But even the visual effects, I think, were done so much more better. Like, you can clearly see what each person's power is so much more better. Despite it being overused with slow motion at certain scenes, which I hate, but we move on. We move on from slow motion. Otherwise, I'll be very angry. But
it's all right.
But I don't know, Superman's costume in the end with all black, it's just so good to see. I think it's what it was needed, because he just comes back and he's just there. And
it makes sense. And apparently the studio didn't want the black suit that they changed. Like, Zack Snyder wanted it, so they sort of like prepared the suit just in case they were going to change it at the end. But the studio didn't want that suit, and I'm like, I mean, he's coming back from the dead.
Sucks.
I mean, do something.
Spoilers.
About it. Like.
He comes back from the dead.
It means a lot of things, but to me, it's about someone who's been dead and now is alive, and something has changed inside him. Like, something is different.
Yeah.
And to see that suit, it was just, there you go. It's that easy for me to click to see someone different. Like, Superman is not the same, and it will never be the same just because of what he's been through. And to me, that was one of the meanings of changing the color and the reason why it was so important to do that.
I agree. I think one of the biggest changes was the actual villain main man himself.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean, yeah, it changed
Absolutely
completely,
loved it.
right? Like it was more human in the Joss Whedon version, and now it
Yeah,
was more
I'll
alien.
put a picture up right now so yeah people can see. But the first cut, he just doesn't look scary. He just looks like a man with armor and an angry hammer, and he's like, "Ah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna get you." But in this cut, I'm
yeah,
like, okay, I feel a little bit threatened. The spikes, and
yeah,
when he gets angry and it just goes, oh my god, I was like, oh, he's not to be messed with. I really loved it. I loved the change. I think it was
yeah.
definitely needed. I was scared that because I didn't watch. I thought the first half of the trailer, and then I was like, okay, let me stop. I'm not gonna spoil it for myself anymore because this looks good. And then I saw him, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
understood. This is the way.
Yeah, again, I think the old version of the film, it was more family friendly, so you didn't want kids to get scared. With this version, it's like, yo, this is what you get,
I'm
like
sorry, but if
an
my
alien.
little kid went and was like, I want to watch Justice League, I'll be like, it's not for you. It's for grown-ups. I'm
It's not for you.
sorry.
Get out. Uh, no, but yeah, that's true, and that changed. I mean, to me, when I first saw, because after the film came out, some concept arts were released online, uh, and it was similar to the Zack Snyder one, the ones that were released. And I was like, I'm not sure about these, but then when I watched the first trailer, I was like, okay, I'm happy with these. As you said, it has to be scary, and this one is way scarier than the other ones. And I don't know, it's just the fighting scenes with
Yeah,
the very first scene when like jumps. I don't know how you say that in English. Jumps into the scene, and
yeah,
it's just it's like,
it was
okay,
so good.
you got it right, Zach.
Yeah,
You got
but I
it
also
right.
liked how they also struggled a lot as well when they first initially was fighting with him. I was like, thank you. It's nice to
Thank you.
see. It's nice to see them struggle because not everyone is also powerful and strong and mighty. And I guess it was kind of set up to bring Superman into the scene. Like, oh my God, it's Superman. He's so strong and powerful. Like, I get that, but it was just a nice to see them struggle. I like seeing superheroes struggle. I like seeing people
Yeah.
struggle in general, but to see them struggle was nice because I was like, it's just a different pace than them going, "Aye, ooh, yes, we're winning," and then that's the
Winning.
end. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, they failed it just because Flash restores, right? I mean, am I getting this wrong?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
At some point,
yeah,
like the mother boxes
yeah.
explode, and then
The plan
Flash
fails,
has
and
to
then
do this thing.
Flash has his
Yeah,
whole moment where he's like, "I've got to do this. I've got to do this," and then he basically runs, uh, and kind of He goes back in time and gets the box, and then the whole world is
yeah.
saved. Yay! Or is it?
Hmm.
Ooh, I don't
That
know.
was very, I mean, that scene was very interesting because when Flash walks into the team, he's just a kid. He likes joking around and all that. But then at the end, he's the one that saves everyone, saves the world in this,
Yeah.
and that was quite crazy. Uh, at the end, we get to see Darkseid, which we didn't get to see in the other version.
Yeah.
And that scene was wow, which makes sense because what Zack intended to do was, that was the main villain. I mean, I'm giving you Steppenwolf in the Justice League one, but then what we want to see at the end, it's Darkseid, and seeing him at the end, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I read some stuff on Twitter, but apparently they're not going to continue with the
Yeah,
Zack
yeah, yeah,
Snyder's
yeah,
vision,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
a shame to see because obviously the ending did lead up to something
Yeah,
more. With the whole multiverse and the whole the visions Batman was having and stuff like that, and the whole Joker scene and stuff. Just basically just everything
in
that happened in the epilogue. There was so much more that could have been, but we're never gonna see that. Unfortunately, we're never gonna see that.
I'm blaming Zach for this because when you watch the last scene, I was like, no way. Because let's be honest, Nico, there was this, slight possibility that, this film was going to be released and it did, but we're not going to get more than this. And I was sure of that when I was walking into watching Justice League, Zack Snyder's version. And then when I watched the last scene, I was like, no way.
Yeah, I was like, you teasing? Why are you teasing?
I mean, everything was, coming there, at that scene, with, oh my God, I was freaking out. I was like, no way, you're not giving me this. Because I knew it was happening because I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
But then I saw the film ending and I was like, what is the Joker? I need to see the Joker.
Now what? Yeah.
And then I got to the scene and I was like, fuck, no way.
Yeah.
It was, to me, it was really insane. How do you, I don't know, I'm seeing these and I love the film and I'm like, I want the heroes to get to that point where, they have to fight with Joker and I don't know.
Yeah. I think that was a very big tease in the trailer as well, because I was expecting a little bit more. Like, I thought maybe, I don't know, just randomly the Joker comes in and he's like, hi, I'm here to help. And then, spoilers, I'm off to space helping the aliens. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, the whole epilogue in the end was a big tease. I was like, I need more. Like, the way Superman, rips his shirt and like, there was just so much in the end. I was like, I need more. Yeah. Like, I know it was 4 hours long, but I need more.
Yeah, and that's the thing. After watching that for 4 hours, you think, okay, now I've had enough. But to me, I was like, I want to watch more stuff. I watched interviews with Zack Snyder. I watched the whole thing just because of, I think to me, what triggered me to do that was the last scene, because I was like, I want to see more of these, which now more than ever, I know that I'm not going to get, but, I'm trying to, just...
It's heartbreak. It's actual heartbreak.
It was a break. Just because that last scene, and that scene was added, like, after they said, we're going to release the Snyder Cut, then Zack thought, okay, why don't we tease these people?
Tease them even more. Break their hearts even more.
That's why I'm blaming Zack. Like, don't show me that.
Zack, how dare you? If you're watching this, Zack, we love you, really. Huge fans.
So I think in a way, I think in a way he needed to put that scene in there because that's where he was going. And I was like, maybe it's not going to happen, but just in case, I'm going to give you what could have happened.
Yeah, it was more of a conclusion for his creative vision. Because I think to him, he knew this was going to be his last final shot of the DC Justice League universe. So he was like, you know what, if this is my last shot, I'm going to show them what I could have done, and it'll be an ending to his masterpiece, really. And it's just not fair. It's really not fair.
It is not. It is not. I'm just gonna say that Zack Snyder deserves. I mean, he deserves he deserved a second chance doing these, because he had the vision and he cared so much about the story. And watching his version of the film, I'm like, you deserve what you got. Because let's be honest, I think that has never happened before in cinema history. I mean, we've had like director's cut, but something like this that has changed that much, because it's, to me, and I'm telling people, like, it's a completely different film.
Completely different, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so emotional, and and now more than ever, I know I always thought maybe the film it's not good, and that's why he's not releasing it. But
Yeah.
seeing this, I'm like, hey, it was good, and that's why I think he was like, yo, guys. I mean, he wasn't saying it. He was like, letting the fans do the job, the
Yeah.
job. But it was basically telling them like that is a Snyder cut, and you're gonna fucking love it.
This is the story.
Um,
Okay. This is
yeah.
it.
Uh,
The
but yeah,
soundtrack was
I'm
good too. I think the soundtrack
yeah,
was actually.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah,
think it
yeah,
was
yeah,
rewritten for the cut as well, which was
yeah.
so good, so much more better. Like
Mm,
you had obviously the individual themes of Wonder Woman and Aquaman and stuff, which is like if you've watched the movies, you'd know what they are, which was really nice to hear and obviously see with the action. And but
mm,
just in general, just the soundtrack was just like it got me hyped. I was like, whoa, okay,
yeah,
okay, this is happening. This is it. This is it.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was nice to so
Um,
much better than though, let's just say the first one does not, the 2017 cut does not exist, ladies and
does
gentlemen.
not
If
exist.
you want to
Does
watch
not
Justice
exist.
League, just watch this one. This is the only one that exists.
Uh, isn't that incredible? Because I'm thinking about that, and if you're teaching someone how to edit something, it would be a good thing to do to watch the first one and then the second one and see how things can change. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest, it tells a completely different story, and we know that Zach, the only thing he reshoot was the last scene. Like apart from that, everything was already shot,
Hmm.
uh, which is amazing. Seeing how things can change, just moving clips in there.
Or like even adding extra characters in the shots, like it's it's just nice. It's just nice. I like it.
Yeah.
But it
Let's
does,
let
yeah. It does.
let's just say that. Yeah, you were saying.
I mean, it does lead me to because obviously I think Suicide's also getting a release recut. I think it's called. I think so. It does make me think. Will it also have that same effect as the Zack Snyder cut? Probably not. I don't know. I didn't like Suicide Squad. I know it's going off topic, but it's still part
I
of
mean,
DC. But I didn't
yeah.
like Suicide
Um,
Squad. I didn't, something to me was missing, like it was in Justice League, and I hope that when they re-release the second one or whatever they're calling it, it does good. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on
um,
that one.
I don't have faith in that cut just because David Ayer, the director of the film, said himself, "I made a mistake not making the Joker the main villain."
Yeah.
Whereas Zack Snyder knew that his cut had, all the right ingredients for this to
Mhm.
work. To me, Suicide Squad, even though I think the studio changed what David Ayer intended to do, I think you can't. I mean, most of the thing that we saw, I think, was already there. You cannot change that much, something like that, because the problem wasn't. I mean, I don't know. Like there were a few problems, and one of them was the Joker being there for just
Yeah.
8 minutes, and the villain. I don't know. They tried to do something very cool because from the trailers I was like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome, and then I went to the cinema. I was like,
Mm,
I might be a bit disappointed.
maybe not, but yeah.
But I'm happy that we got to see Zack Snyder's cut of the film, and I'm just maybe this is a call for the studios to give more freedom to filmmakers, and if you hire someone, uh, it's because of a reason. So just let him or her do the job they were hired to do, right?
I wish it was
I
as
don't know.
that easy. I wish it was as that easy, but
I mean,
obviously,
it's always about money. Like at the end of the day,
yeah,
it's about money. So I get it. Why? But let's be honest. Like Justice League is getting way better reviews now than
yeah,
it did back in those
100%.
days. Which maybe that's giving hope to whoever's listening. Warner Brothers, just do things right, and Zack Snyder, we love you.
Yes, we do. I think
Um,
that concludes today's little chat. I think we
yeah,
summarized quite a lot. We talked about the differences. We talked about what we loved,
yeah,
what we hated.
yeah.
Slow motion. Uh,
Slow motion.
too much slow motion. Unrealized is
One
starting to
hour
get.
of the film is in slow motion.
I mean, if you cut all the slow motion in, it probably is.
1 hour version of slow motion. Zack Snyder. There you go.
There we go.
Um,
But yes,
okay, it's been a lovely chat, Nico.
yes, I know. Thank you. I hope you guys all
And
enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we will see you hopefully sometime next week, if not the week after. If not, we've got stuff coming out either way, so
we'll
we'll let you know.
post on
We'll
Twitter,
let you
so,
know.
yeah.
We'll
We'll let you know.
All right. Bye bye,
Bye bye.
everyone.